Hello, Ray Phoenix here, and this is Wipeout 3 Special Edition for the PS1. This is by far the definitive version of Wipeout 3. My whole life so far has been a lie. I grew up playing Wipeout 3, the regular Wipeout 3. It's really great. It's probably not as good as the first two Wipeout games necessarily, but it's still really good. But this version, boy, this is the definitive version of Wipeout 3. I'm never playing regular Wipeout 3 again. This is Wipeout 3 Special Edition. It has all the same ships and all the same music tracks that the regular Wipeout 3 has, but in addition to everything that the original regular Wipeout 3 has, it also has several race tracks, several courses from the first two Wipeout games. You see right here, this is Talon's Reach from Wipeout XL. One of the best tracks in Wipeout XL, and it's in this game, Wipeout 3 Special Edition. Again, that's what really makes Wipeout 3 Special Edition special. It has, all these special tracks to tracks. It really make it worthwhile. I do recommend buying this game as this is, if you live in the proper region, that is, because this is, like I keep saying, this is the definitive version of Wipeout 3. The only problem is that this game only came out in Europe, this Wipeout 3 Special Edition. The regular edition came out worldwide, but Special Edition only came out in Europe in 2000. This game does have all the same music, as I said earlier. It does have all the same music as the regular Wipeout 3 does, but I'm going to be using music from the original Wipeout, because the music from the original Wipeout is not copyrighted, but the music from Wipeout 3 is. If you want to know what the Wipeout 3 soundtrack sounds like, go look it up elsewhere, but you're not going to find this video since it's copyrighted. So now I believe this is the Odessa Keys is that we're at. We're racing over the Black Sea. So apparently in the future they build racetracks at the Black Sea. And right now I'm being one of my favorite ships, well, one of my father's favorite ships in the game, the FACER, or whatever you call it, the Federal European something ship, because they're all big about how the future is Euro. Let me just pass by some other ship, and now autopilot isn't that great in this game. Autopilot kind of sucks. Now here's another cool track we get from the original Wipeout. Here is the legendary Ultima 7. I really know this track well. I often know this track and really know this track very well because of the original Wipeout, the demo from the original Wipeout on that PlayStation Pix from 1995. You only get one track from the original Wipeout, and it's this track. So yeah, it's pretty cool. Look, even at the same advertisements from the original game too. There's that thing that looks like a Moo from Jumping Flash on there. It has all the same advertisements and everything from the original Wipeout. It's really cool that they paid that much attention to detail, and yet they still updated it to the standards, because it's 2000. I mean, the original Wipeout came out in 1995, and now it's 2000. It's like 5 years later. So they actually updated it to 2000 standards. It's really cool that they did. I think it's really awesome they did that. I really give the people who made this game, serious props. They give good, they don't get enough credit. I don't even know this Wipeout game existed until last summer. Again, my whole life was a lie. I'm never playing regular Wipeout 3 again. And as I said before, this game does have all the same racetracks as regular Wipeout 3 too. They're all exactly the same as they were in regular Wipeout 3, but I'm not going to be showing any of that in this video, because I already made a video kind of showing that, and there's already plenty of other stuff about Wipeout 3 showing all that. I really like the textures too. The textures look really smooth for this is like a later PS1 game. It sure looks exactly the same as the regular Wipeout 3, which came out in 1999, months earlier, but still, for a PS1 game, these graphics are very smooth and very vibrant and very, realistic looking for a PS1 was capable of. Now we're in Nepal right now, in a track from Wipeout XL, Sagamara or whatever it's called, in Nepal, where thankfully the track is not icy. For some reason in the original Wipeout game, they made the ice levels, like the icy levels, slippery, and like in Mario Kart, where the track, the ice levels are all slippery. But no, they didn't do that in this game, which is good, because it doesn't make any sense at all. You're flying above the ground. Why would the ground being icy and slippery impact your flight? It doesn't make any sense. The people who made this game, they clearly didn't know anything about that. But thankfully, they learned from their mistakes. Unfortunately, a little bit of a spoiler alert, in Wipeout 4, which is called Wipeout Fusion, they brought back those ice physics from the original Wipeout game. Wipeout Fusion was like a step back in the wrong direction. They completely ignored Wipeout XL and Wipeout 3, made it more like the original Wipeout. But thankfully, this version isn't like that. I see our race as Aerocom a lot, if you can see. Their Aerocom's like the best ship in this game, at least out of all the ships you have at the beginning of the game, because if you play for this game, you win medals and you unlock new different ships in the game, just like the regular Wipeout 3. This game really does give you a lot of bang for your buck. Especially did in my case, because I downloaded this for free. Because I said before, this game only came out in Europe, so the only way I could possibly play this game is if I downloaded the ROM, the ISO of it, the ISO image of it from the internet somewhere, and it does work on any PlayStation emulator anywhere in the world, which is again the beauty of emulators, the reason why emulators are, really good. Now we're racing in Germany. This time around, we're racing at Finita Park, wherever this place is called, in Germany. This high-speed racetrack. And also in the original Wipeout, too, you couldn't get eliminated in the original Wipeout. So it's in the original, because in Wipeout XL and Wipeout 3, close to the end of all the tracks, there's this thing you could drive into or fly into, and it increases your shield, it replenishes your shield energy that you lose during battle. The original Wipeout didn't have it, so the tracks from the original Wipeout game, they actually added those into there, because those weren't in the original Wipeout, so you couldn't get eliminated in the original Wipeout. You didn't have any health bars in the original Wipeout. So you didn't even get really proper stats in the original Wipeout either. You just got a simple bar showing you how your speed is. And so, yeah, and even has all the same, and all the weapons and special items in this game are pretty much the same as they were in Wipeout 3, which evolved from a lot of the weapons and things from the first two Wipeout games. But of course, because you couldn't get eliminated in the original Wipeout, there was no weapon that immediately destroyed you. And look at that sign, the Designers Republic. I thought that was really cool. They left the logos from original Wipeout there, the different race ship, what do you call them, logos from original Wipeout. They said the DR logo, because the DR developed these games. The DR, the Designers Republic, is what I believe they're called. And they left the logo in for gold nostalgic sake. That's really, again, I think that's really great of them. They did that. You get energy drains. These energy drain doesn't always really work very well. And of course, well, it wouldn't be a Wipeout game without you constantly wiping out on the side. You have the ground quake shift things, and then you could have the rocket missiles. You could shoot up stuff. Mines, you get the mines. And of course, in Wipeout 3 all the time, you're constantly eliminating other players. Other players constantly get eliminated. And again, this is actually one of the better. I remember this as being one of the more difficult courses in the original Wipeout. However, if I could choose which tracks from the first two Wipeout games they could have put in here, I would have, my choices may have been kind of different. I can only think of one I would have added in here if I could add in here. I might replace something like this track, or maybe the Sagmarfa track, or whatever it's called. In this game, I would have replaced it with, what's that track called? Oh yeah, Valparaiso from Wipeout XL, where you're racing Chile, the beautiful lush forest of Chile. Now, I wish that was in this. Unfortunately, no, they didn't include that track in this version, but I really wish they did. It was one of my favorite tracks. I really wish they did include that. So now, again, we're getting to some of the later tracks. Some of the later tracks, this game is very difficult. Now I believe this is the Gare de Europa, which is located in France. And so we are, racing at pretty much what's a train station or some sort of station, pretty much. And you see, the race hasn't been going on for very long, and I'm already in 4th place, going very. Some of these races, if you really know what you're doing, you could go, because you go really fast in this game. You have to really, watch yourself. You go fast. And this is also one of the few racing games I know where it's actually dangerous to use the speed boosters, because you're going to hit walls and lose health. The original Wipeout wasn't so bad because you couldn't lose any shielding, but in Wipeout XL and Wipeout 3, you can get eliminated, and you also have to beat the clock too. If you don't get to the checkpoint a certain amount of time, you're out of the game. But of course, you always get a lot of time to get to the checkpoint, so that's never really much of an issue. And so here we are. I'm about to win this race as usual because I am the champion of these Wipeout games. I've been playing these Wipeout games for years. I'm better at these games than anyone else. I always wish I could challenge someone at these games in real life. I hear these emulators have like net play or something like that. I really wish I could play against people over net play at these Wipeout games. I would love to see how I compare to them. So now here's Aerodose, another track set in Utah from the original Wipeout. I believe this is Utah or somewhere like that. I don't know, it doesn't actually say. It just says United States when it says where it's located. United States. That's a pretty big country with a lot of different things in it. So for real, where in the United States is this? I'm gonna guess it's somewhere around Utah, possibly Colorado or Nevada or somewhere like that. I don't know, probably someone's gonna correct me. See, Wipeout Fusion did a little more of that. Wipeout Fusion brought back the whole world tour thing, which was left out in Wipeout 3, but in Wipeout Fusion, it actually says where specifically in that country you're racing. Like, for example, there's a track just like this, a racetrack just like this in Wipeout Fusion, and when it says where you're racing, it says, something more specific, like Nevada. I guess this could be in Nevada or someplace like that, where aliens always tend to land, a desert filled with casinos, and And of course, they've added this shield charging station here too, so you could replenish your shields. And again, all the same ads are still up there. Now I'm racing as Curix, or whatever you call them. They're actually kind of slow compared to a lot of the other ships, but their shielding's a lot better too. They're like a slow but strong one. They're built tough like a tank. I always wish I had a private jet that looked something like that. I'd love to fly around my private jet. Yeah, if YouTube allows me to monetize my videos again, or not they ever did, but if they ever allow me to monetize my videos and make money off them, yeah, I'm totally saving up for my own private jet so I can fly anywhere in the world and meet people, so I can find those people that leave bad comments on my YouTube videos and give them a taste of their own medicine, or maybe smack them off or something like that. I'd love to do that, find all my enemies, fly around the world and find my enemies. And I don't know, do something to their computer. Maybe I could downgrade all their computers to Windows ME or something like that, so they can't do any modern stuff with the internet. They should totally give that punishment to people that abuse their internet privileges. They should just, make their computers and phones run Windows ME. So there's nothing they could do that's modern. They can't go on the modern internet at all. Yep. And so, like always, I'm about to win, because I'm the master at Wipeout. This is Ray Phoenix, signing out.